What was the question?
Well, that was a question. Who you wound up supporting in the election, presidential election?
None of your business.
In real life, Denzel Washington is exactly the man you see on screen, always in control, shutting down any bad guy without breaking a sweat. So when an interviewer tried fishing for a juicy headline, Denzel, calm and collected, wasn't having any of it. This wasn't his first rodeo. Watch how he handles one particular question the interviewer throws his way.
How about this? I don't know if you saw it. There's a fake news story going around. It got thousands of shares online. You saw that. And I just thought you might want to clear it up because people are confused.
Let's get one thing straight. No one was actually confused. It was pure fake news and most people knew it. But this woke reporter, clearly working an angle, needed a reaction from Denzel. Watch how the seasoned actor handles it.
There's a few words that start with F and end with K, but that one ends with E, but it starts with F.
Yeah, but just too vague. You got to be specific right now.
If you're wondering what Denzel's getting at here, he's slyly pointing out the obvious. The news is clearly fake, and everyone, including the reporter, knows it. So why ask in the first place? Somehow, this leads the reporter to push even further, prying into who Denzel voted for in the recent election. But Denzel shuts him down, making it clear it's none of his business. Yet, this reporter is relentless, immediately shifting gears, hoping for a new angle that could spin into a woke, attention-grabbing headline.
Let me ask you this. What issue do you hope President-elect Trump tackles? What's number one in your mind with the new administration?
Now, if a woke person were in Denzel's shoes, they'd probably launch into a passionate argument, talking about things they barely understand, relying on feelings over facts. But Denzel's response, it's a masterclass, a lesson for every woke person out there.
I don't know. I'd have to be more informed to just say off the top of my head the number one issue. I'm not sure. Education, jobs, health. I mean, there's so many.
The takeaway here is straightforward. Don't jump into hot topics without the facts. You need real knowledge to handle certain issues, a concept that seems lost on many in the woke crowd. But Denzel isn't the only legend pushing back against wokeness. While he's witty and subtle, the next actor, let's just say he's a lot more blunt and direct.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month?
Now, this clip may be 7 years old, but even today, only a handful of celebrities have taken such a direct, blunt stand against wokeness. At this moment, Morgan isn't fazed at all by the idea of Black History Month, leaving the woke reporter visibly stunned. The reporter scrambles to justify it, but with Morgan, that approach doesn't stand a chance.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh. Why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either.
Think about it. No other demographic has its own month. And Morgan drives that point home, leaving the question hanging, why is Black History Month so necessary? And this, right here, is where the interview takes a very interesting turn.
I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it.
Morgan cuts straight to the point, calling out how the woke crowd seems to do everything but tackle social issues at their core. They've got their parades, Black History Month, Pride Month. If you didn't know better, you'd think they're just looking for any excuse to make a scene. But to Morgan, the solution to ending racism isn't another awareness month. It's as simple as people choosing to stop being racist. It's clear, it's direct, yet the woke crowd seems to be doing the exact opposite. Now, speaking of opposites, we've seen celebs take on woke culture subtly, and others with blunt force. But this next one, they go for an unexpected twist, and it's the most hilarious thing you'll ever see.
We don't need humor. What we need is awareness, more awareness.
So, what exactly is Chris Pratt talking about here? Here's the backstory. On social media, Chris decided to have a little fun with his followers by starting a "What's My Snack" hashtag, a lighthearted game where fans guess his snack of the day. Just a simple, fun way to connect with his audience. But the woke brigade had other thoughts. They decided that with all the political tension, Pratt's hashtag was somehow insensitive. And his response? Well, let's just say he's super remorseful.
I want to say thank you to the people in my comments who've taken the brave step to let me know how insensitive it is for me to continue with What's My Snack.
And this is where Chris Pratt takes it up a notch, sarcastically saying, we should forget about humor altogether and focus only on awareness. It doesn't take a genius to realize he means the exact opposite. The woke crowd has practically become the comedy police. They're not just going after comedians now, they're coming for anything, even a harmless hashtag meant for laughs. Pratt, though, he's not backing down, and he's not alone. Another actor who's had enough of the woke agenda is none other than Ice Cube. He's got a message for the world, and if you listen closely, you'll catch exactly who he's calling out.
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. A lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their fucking club.
Ice Cube doesn't hold back as he throws some serious shade at the woke mob. He calls it a club, though other bold celebrities like Ricky Gervais have been even blunter, calling it a cult. And to the woke crowd, it's all the same in principle. They pressure you to join, demand that you share their beliefs, and if you refuse, they turn on you, trying to tear you down. Clearly, Ice Cube has had first-hand experience with this and can't wrap his head around why the woke crowd just can't let it go when he chooses not to join them. But this next celebrity? You'd probably never expect him to be vocal against woke ideas. Just wait till you see.
My starting point when it comes to the consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely.
Rowan Atkinson, fondly known as Mr. Bean, doesn't mince words when it comes to freedom of expression. To him, it's one of the most fundamental and precious rights we have, right up there with food on the table and a roof over your head. And here's the irony. Woke people claim to support freedom of speech, but only as long as they're the ones talking. The second you try to engage them in a conversation that challenges their views, suddenly your freedom of speech expires in their eyes and they'll do whatever they can to silence you. But what Rowan says next, it's incredibly profound.
Personally, I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain free expression because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile. So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile.
Rowan Atkinson doesn't just believe in freedom of speech, he actively fights for it, especially for those without his level of fame, who could actually face arrest for saying something others don't like. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to this. Yes, that really happened. And it makes you wonder, does the woke mob operate with any real logic? The answer is no. They respond purely based on feelings, and since feelings change constantly, woke ideas end up inconsistent and, most of the time, utterly ridiculous. What do you think? Should certain speech be policed, or should everyone have the freedom to say what they think and feel? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.